Yes, 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 I know I am so late in seeing this movie, but now I've seen it. Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my review for Nosferatu, which is directed by Robert Eggers and is a remake of the 1922 silent film Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror. And that movie in itself is an unauthorized adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula, meaning that within the course of 2 years, Universal has released not one, not two, not three, but 4 Dracula-related movies. Yes, I know this is Focus Features, but it's all under the same umbrella, and Universal did distribute this movie internationally. Anyway, this movie is about a man who heads off to a castle owned by the horrific and legendary Count Orlok, and he is there for business purposes, but he ends up staying at the castle for far too long, and it turns out that his wife back home has had a history with Count Orlok, so it's not too much longer before this vampire makes his way to the man's wife. I have never seen the original Nosferatu, but it's one of those movies that is so famous and so historically important that you can recognize something involving that movie when you see it. I know SpongeBob SquarePants uses some images of Nosferatu a lot. There's that famous shot of the shadow going up the stairs, and Nosferatu has always been considered one of the pinnacles of German expressionist horror, along with The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which I also have never seen for myself. One day I'd like to get around to seeing that movie and maybe reviewing it at some point, because I've actually never reviewed a silent film on this channel before. But anyway, with this remake, I thought that Robert Eggers was a fantastic choice because if you've seen his movies, especially The Lighthouse, he definitely has a very strong visual style that I think with a movie so rooted in German expressionism could have worked. While this movie doesn't look anything like the original silent film, its visual style is the biggest highlight of the movie. Every bit of this movie in terms of the way it looks, from production design, cinematography, costumes, hair and makeup, is A+. It is a gorgeous movie to watch. There's a lot of bright colors throughout, not necessarily colors, but there's a lot of bright exposure throughout some of this movie, but there's also a really heavy use of shadows, darkness. It's just a visually pleasing movie to watch. The visual look of this movie is A+. It is undoubtedly the best part of the film, and everything else about it is good, but I don't think it's as good as the way it looks. The cast is good, and all the actors in this movie do a really good job. Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Willem Dafoe, and even Lily Rose Depp, who is Johnny Depp's daughter. I haven't seen her in anything prior to Nosferatu, and she definitely looks like Johnny Depp's daughter, but I thought she was really good, really intense throughout a lot of this movie. Even though there are a few moments in this movie that are trying to be horrific, but sometimes come across as funny, and I don't think it was meant to be unintentional. Robert Eggers' movies are just so bizarre and so outlandish and stylistic that you don't know if you're supposed to laugh at something or not. I mean, take The Lighthouse, for example. Nicholas Hoult and Aaron Taylor-Johnson are both really good, although one issue that I have with them, and most of the cast really, is that the movie takes place in Germany, yet everybody's speaking in a British accent. It's the same problem I've heard so many people have with Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, where, yeah, it takes place in Italy, but everyone's British. And then Willem Dafoe is just being Willem Dafoe. Every time he pops up in a Robert Eggers movie, you know what you're gonna get, and he has some great lines, one of which made me laugh in the theater and made the whole audience laugh. "I have seen things in this world that would have made Isaac Newton crawl back into his mother's womb." That was more Scottish than actually British, but it's a great line and has stuck with me ever since I saw the movie. And then Bill Skarsgård, as Count Orlok himself, is unrecognizable, but he is effective. The makeup work on Count Orlok is unsettling, it's creepy. He doesn't look at all like the Count Orlok from the original film, and I couldn't be more grateful for that, because that look is so iconic, and what they do with the look of Count Orlok in this film fits very well with the overall visual look of the movie. However, the thing that I don't think really works about this movie is the way it's told. The story is honestly a little difficult to follow. Even with that plot description I gave you at the beginning of this review, there are a lot of points in this movie where it just felt meandering. Like, I didn't really understand how we got to certain situations. The storytelling I didn't think was as strong as the visual look of the film. The pacing of the film I also found to be really lackluster. The movie runs about 2 hours and 15 minutes, but it felt a lot longer. It felt like this movie was nearing the 3-hour mark because it was very slow, and again, the way the movie's story was told, I didn't think was all that effective. I wouldn't say that this is a bad movie by any means, because the visual look is so strong. I just kind of wish I was more invested in the story. And I thought the pacing was pretty messy. So if you're going into this movie for a visual spectacle, you are absolutely gonna get it, and I say it's worth seeing in your lifetime. But if you're looking for something with a little more substance to it than style, I will simply say Nosferatu is good, but it's not great. I think that the story itself is not the strongest aspect of the film, but still, it's worth seeing at the end of the day, and it proves very much that Robert Eggers is a very talented director, and I can't wait to see what he does with his next movie, which is Werewolf. And there you go, that's my review for Nosferatu. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I want to give a special thank you to my subscribers and YouTube members right over here. You guys are the very reason why this channel continues to grow, and if you'd like to financially support the channel, you can do so via YouTube memberships for as little as $1.99 a month. But until next time, I want to know what you guys think about Nosferatu. Whatever your opinions are, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on these social media platforms and my theme park and travel channel right here on YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.